Well, first of all, thank you for the opportunity to share our journey with you. Let me just say that learning about playful parenting has been, first of all, curiosity-driven endeavor for us, and it's provided us with fascinating experiences. Let me take you back to the place where it all began for us. We started our exploration of playful parenting by collecting games played by parents and children aged 3 to 5. At this age, children play a lot, and we thought it would be easy to document these games because parents also find it simple to play with their children at this age. And really, the games varied widely. First of all, considering the topics and toys used, but they were mostly role-playing or simple rule-based games or some sort of motor skills activities and things like that. But some games actually stood out, and we analyzed them in detail. The very names of these games reveal the complexity of their topics. For example, a poverty fairy, or the storms, or starting school, or underwater photography gallery. And there were several things fascinating about these games, and I'd like to take you through them, as we also had the opportunity to do. First of all, the topics that were addressed in these games were sort of huge. They really dealt with complex, demanding topics such as social injustice or social relationships, professional or other roles, life-changing, significant life events from the perspective of a child, for example, and things like that. The second thing was the duration of these games. Most of the games that we collected lasted for several minutes or several hours, and they had some sort of a dedicated time to happen. And these games were different. They were sort of endeavors that lasted several days, like an omnibus of different interconnected games. They were seemingly motivating and deepening each other while also deepening the child's curiosity and the interest for the topic. For example, the game Storm began with the girl noticing wind blowing while she was playing in the backyard. And she followed the wind around. She was running around the backyard, and she was asking different questions to the wind, sort of, who are you? Where did you come from? And then she continued running around the backyard, following the wind, as if the wind was actually responding. And the game evolved, but came to a certain point where the twist happened, when the mother joined. At the door of the house, the wind lifted mother's skirt, and mom laughed. So she drew girl's attention to another characteristic of the wind, and the girl concluded, "Oh my God, the wind can also move us, so humans." And together they continued exploring the wind, what actually the wind can move, or as they called it, bring to life. This simple game and simple interaction deepened into an endeavor that included stories about the wind, role-playing games involving experiences of different people, of different animals in storms. It even included the Wizard of Oz, so they started reading the novel together. And they were also exploring different types of winds and storms and countries where they can occur. And the final game that this family provided us with was the game between a father and a girl. And they imagined being on a space station and observing from the orbit the movement of large clouds, creating massive storms over the ocean. So the third thing that fascinating us was when these games occurred. Most of the other games happened in a certain time. So parents dedicated certain amount of time and certain time during the day that was dedicated to playing with a child. But these playful interactions were different. They sort of happened non-stop and seemingly could start at any point of the time during the day. And all family routines were used to somehow support that play. So reading, singing, dancing, even walking together with the child. So everything basically could be used as being in service of that play, so connected to the topic of the play. Therefore, the variety of different types of games and were fascinating too. because some of them were role play, some of them were more structured, such as quizzes, some of them were playing with words or characters from the novels or songs, some of them included dancing parties. So many different types of playful interactions happen between the parent and the child during these plays, and they were somehow all interconnected with the same topic, with the same theme of the playful event. Therefore, the opportunities for the child to explore, to learn, to try new things, to communicate to others, both humans and toys, were also enormous. And finally, what fascinated us about these games was the nature of participation of adults in these games. Most of the parents that sent us their examples of games would sit down on the floor and engage with the child in a certain game that has rules, structures, and aiming at a certain goal. But these parents from these games that we analyzed more in depth sort of played effortlessly. They were simply present, and they were simply engaging in a rather simple communication with the child, and they were somehow so very much aligned with the child's interest, and it makes us believe as if this play happening was somehow their way of life. So not a single playful interaction or a simple playful event, but their everyday communication. When we analyzed these games, we call them super games, and kids and their parents playing these games we called super players. And we said such experiences are sort of also the ideal goal of our work. We were to make experiences of super games or something as close as super games available for every child. And we would have to find a way to develop, obviously, skills of such parental involvement in play for every child. Of course, parents are not professional players, and we cannot demand perfect parental involvement or engagement in play in every family. Some parents like time, some like ideas, some do not feel comfortable in playing in such a manner with their children. But we strongly believed at analyzing what these parents, these super player parents, know, believe, or do during the playful interaction with their child would provide us with some kind of valuable framework on what do actually playful parenting competencies mean. So what do we actually have to teach parents, if we want them to become playful parents?